I am listening to my Soul Fire playlist. A nice mix of mostly instrumental, but otherwise like electronic tracks that have a good solid beat, I think, to keep me moving through a power flow. All right, so to start, we'll be here in a comfortable seated position. Here in my hero's pose, this is most comfortable for me these days, with my legs folded underneath. You can be seated cross-legged if you would like. We're going to sit with our spine nice and tall, grounding whatever is touching our mat or the ground, giving ourselves a little undulation, a little wave with our spine, just to loosen our torso up, loosen up our head and neck, loosen up our shoulders, and then find our center. Hands can stay here in our lap or bring them to our heart center in prayer. Starting to connect with our breathing. In through our nose and out through the mouth. It's already been one of those weeks, even though it's only a Monday. Slowing down the breathing just for a moment before we get our blood really flowing. And as we sit here, we can focus on an intention for this session, how we want to direct all this energy that we're going to be building up, cultivating, and really nourishing. One of my lessons for this last week is that focus is a relaxed state. Oftentimes when we are tasked with focusing either visually or mentally on something, we start to tense parts of our body. And the lesson is that that's not necessary. When we focus, it's a mental activity. It can be a visual one, you just focus our eyes, but that's about it. Here in a power flow, we might find the tendency, the habit to scrunch our eyebrows or tense our shoulders up because we're focusing so hard on a pose, focusing hard on balancing, or increasing our strength. But focus is a relaxed state of mind. Well, it's a relaxed physical state. It's the particular state of mind. In any case, whatever your intention is, however you want to direct and focus your energy this session, go ahead and bring that to mind. Taking 3 more intentional breaths here. And on our next inhale, let's raise our arms up. Exhale, open the arms, lifting our chest, flipping our palms up. Inhale, lifting our gaze. Exhale, turning those palms down. Inhale, bringing them back up. Exhale, back down. Inhale, bring our palms together overhead. Bring our head through, so it's right here in the middle of our arms, pulling those arms and shoulders back. Tucking our pelvis under slightly if we're here kneeling. Inhale, gazing up. Exhale, releasing those arms down. Inhale, right arm comes up, leaning over to the left. Having a supple neck here, not trying to force it, to lean over with our body, just tilting our gaze a little bit. Inhale, extend that arm out a little bit more. Exhale, release over to the other side. Keeping both sit bones, both knees, here touching the floor, touching the ground, keeping ourselves grounded equally. Inhale, extend. Exhale, release back center. Let's roll our shoulders back. Just letting the head and neck go wherever they want as we're rolling. Letting our jaw open slightly and roll forward. And let's take our head in circles. Other direction. Again, just letting our forehead, our jaw, and mouth go wherever they want. As we do this. Now let's bring our head back neutral. Wonderful. Go ahead and come into a kneeling posture, our tabletop. Do a few cat-cows here. Fingers are spread nice and wide, gripping the mat, using our fingers. We'll just sink our belly down, turning pelvis up, looking up, and then slowly tucking the pelvis under, tucking our head and chin, really pushing the mat away. And arching and tucking. Arching, tucking. We're just loosening up our spine. We do want to start to actively engage our core here. So releasing our abdominals as we arch, and then engaging, especially those lower abdominals, to really tuck our pelvis under as much as we can. Coming back neutral. We'll do a little disco kitty, taking our head and hips around in circles. Nice and easy, trying not to get dizzy, finding all those little spots that a cat-cow didn't quite get to. And other directions. Meeting here, back neutral. Tuck our toes under, sitting back. So just give our toes a little stretch here as we stretch out our hands, wrists, fingers, forearms as well. If it becomes too intense, take a break, untuck those toes, wiggle them around a little bit, and then come back into this position. Move our wrists in circles, moving our fingers around as well in both directions. And we'll place our hands out as they stop. But even this is the mudra. Maybe we'll go over that another lesson, another session. Fingers come down and then palms down, pulling our weight back, stretching out those forearms, toes still tucked under, arching the back slightly, lifting our chest for our lion pose. Exhale, release gently. Untuck the toes, flip the hands over, palms are facing up, and pull the weight back again. Gently pulling off of those hands. And let's move our wrists around one more time in each direction. Right, let's get moving. We'll start off with a few salutations, getting our blocks ready if we need them, if we know that we'll need them, or if we might need them here at the top of our mat, and we can move them around later as needed. So we're gonna start in one of my favorite poses, mountain, feet hip distance apart. Go ahead and stack ourselves up, arms, hands, palms open, facing the mountains in the distance. Or if you're facing a wall, imagining there's mountains before you. With each inhale, feeling the energy coming up through the heels, through the legs, through our belly, chest, shoulders, and the crown of our head. Next inhale, bringing your arms up. Exhale, diving down. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, fold. For this first salutation, we're going to go through each pose nice and easy before we really just string them all together for a nice flow. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release the arms down. Plank and lower all the way down. Pushing ourselves up, starting just in a sphinx. Rolling our shoulders back, pushing the elbows and forearms into the mat to give ourselves a little bit more length. Even thinking of pushing our pelvis into the mat even more, arching through the upper spine. Inhale, tuck in, let's push our hips back, easing into our first downward dog. Bending one leg at a time if you'd like, moving the hips from side to side if that feels good, undulating the spine. Feel like I'm digging when I'm doing this. And it feels really nice on my toes and calves, hamstrings, hips, and back. And just holding this downward dog for one more breath. Inhale, looking through the hands. Exhale, walking ourselves in and folding again. Let's grab our opposite elbows and sway ourselves from side to side. As we are warming up our legs, keeping our legs engaged. So we're engaging everything from our glutes, those hamstrings, and our calves. It's an active ragdoll. Slowing down, coming back center, bending knees slightly, releasing our arms, lifting them up so they're next to our ears, tucking our hips under, and gaze raises for our chair. One more breath here. Inhale, standing up. Exhale, release your arms down. All right. Let's get a little bit more flowy, huh? Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, folding down. And flat back, folding again. flat back, and fold, hands down, take it back, and all the way down, pressing up. Relaxing our glutes here, still pushing those shoulders away from our ears, relaxing our gaze. Tuck the toes, lower the chest, pushing back. If you'd like to still have some movement here in this downward dog, that is perfectly fine. And if you ever need to stop and rest, go ahead and lower your knees for that tabletop or go all the way down into a child's pose. Inhale, look up through the hands. Exhale, walk the feet in and hang. Again, engaged legs here. And releasing your spine. Lowering our hips, lowering our arms. Arms come up over to our ears. Chest lifts. Tuck the pelvis. Breathing here. Bending just a little more. Inhale, standing up. And lower the arms down. Let's go again. Arms up and dive down. Flat back. Lowering down. Flat back. And stepping or hopping back to our plank, lowering down, pressing up, still in a sphinx or going for a cobra. If you're nice and loose, going for your upward dog, looking over our left shoulder, and then over our right, back neutral, pressing back, downward dog. Pressing the mat away with our hand, thinking of getting our belly towards our thighs. Looking through our hands, walking or hopping to meet the hands with the feet and hang. Dropping arms, then reaching up. If you'd like, you can bring those palms together or start to balance on the balls of the feet. Inhale and mountain pose. We'll add some things this next round, the next couple of rounds. Arms coming up, inhale and dive down. Flat back and lower. Flat back and walking or hopping back, lowering down. Pressing up, really getting those elbows into the sides, supporting your torso as you're arching this back. Tucking our toes and pushing back. Lifting our right leg to the air. Go ahead to the ball of that left foot. Pushing our chest towards that left thigh, lifting our right leg even more. Then keeping our torso right where it is, lower that left heel down. Ooh, feeling that stretch. Squaring our hips here, looking towards our hands, still keeping our balance, and then tucking the head and chin under again. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step that right foot forward. Keeping our hips square, bringing our arms up to our ears in this nice high lunge. Getting our balance and stability, maybe walking that right foot forward, lowering into a little bit deeper lunge. Checking in with your body, trying to really have square hips here, square shoulders. Now we're gonna turn that left heel in, re-square those shoulders for our warrior one. Feeling how the left toes, all of them are engaged in the mat, feeling the whole mat with the mat with your whole foot, and deepening the lunge. Inhale, lengthen arms. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Please just beyond the fingers. Taking a moment here, checking with our breathing. Checking with anything that might be tense. Inhale, bringing our right arm up, left arm lowers. Feeling a nice stretch all through that right side. And deepen the lunge. Inhale, lengthen that arm. Exhale, windmill down. And lower, untucking toes, pressing up. Tucking toes, downward dog. Inhale, lift the left leg to the air. And elevate to the right, elevate the right foot to the ball of that foot. Checking in with our hips here, trying to keep it all square. Go ahead and take the gaze forward between the hands. See what happens to your balance there. And then tuck the chin back under. Keep pressing belly towards the thigh, lowering that right heel down. Keep lifting that left leg. Inhale, looking forward. Exhale, bring that left foot forward. And chest comes up, arms next to the ears. Nice high lunge. Starting to deepen the lunge, if that's all right. Feeling our right hip flexor stretching now. And strengthening. Turning our right foot in and then re-squaring the shoulders. Ooh, feeling our shoulders burning maybe a little bit. If you need to rest the arms, that's totally fine. If you want to keep an eye on Sammy, we've started seeing some creatures out here. As the weather gets nicer, things are coming out of the ground. Opening up in our warrior two. And getting deeper into our lunge. Gaze is over our front hand, our front fingers. One more good breath here. Lengthen and take that front arm up, back arm. Take the rest back here on our leg. Really thinking as though somebody's pulling this left arm. So we feel a stretch all through our torso. Inhale, lengthen those fingers. Exhale, windmill all the way down. And pressing up. Perhaps we're ready for an upward dog. And pressing back, downward dog. Let's spread our feet a little bit here so that they're wider than we usually would have for a downward dog. We're gonna take our right hand off of the mat and reach it towards our left ankle. So let's go ahead and press our chest towards our thighs, shifting our weight just a little bit more, looking through our left armpit, and then take that right hand towards the ankle, the calf, or the knee. Pulling our body. Let's take 3 good breaths here. Exhale, pulling in just a millimeter. A little bit more. And replace that right hand. Left hand goes to the right leg. 3 breaths here. And replace that hand. Walk the feet back. Inhale, look through our hands. Step or hop in and fold. Releasing the arms, lowering our hips, tucking pelvis, and lifting up for our chair. Let's shift our weight forward to the balls of our feet. Sink the hips even more, lifting the arms and chest even more. Now we're going to take our arms down and back, shift our gaze into our diver pose, lifting up even more on the balls of our feet, sink the hips even more. Inhale, everything raises up, and exhale, lowering down, mountain pose. Ah, nice. Move this block so you can see my feet as we do that last little bit when we get back to it. And of course, if you need some water, great time to get some. Let's dive back in. Starting in our mountain pose. Bring your arms up. Exhale, dive it down. Lifting our chest flat back. And fold. Again, taking it down and back. Pressing back, downward dog. Lifting our right leg high, keeping that left heel down this time. Let's open up our hip, bend that right leg, lifting our gaze to look over the left arm as we're still pushing with that right. And square the hips again. Lift that right leg a little bit higher. Gaze is back through the legs. 1 breath here. And bring the right leg through. Turning our left heel in for our warrior 1. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, open up, warrior 2. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reverse. Deepen our lunge. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, taking yourself over for this side angle, lowering the lunge. Careful not to sink in the shoulder. Keep pressing the leg away. If you'd like to reach for the floor here, that's fine. Or you can keep the arm on the leg. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, windmill down, lowering and pressing up. Pressing back. left leg high, open the hip and bend the leg. Looking over the right shoulder towards that left foot. And squaring yourself again, lifting the left leg and bring it forward. Opening up, warrior one. Stretch the arms, warrior two. Extend and reverse. One more stretch and side angle. I keep giving the cue to deepen the lunge because we tend to naturally try and ease out of this lunge as we move our torso in different positions. But as we're warming our body up more and more, we can get deeper into this lunge. Extend the arm just a little more and take it down. Pressing up. Pressing back. Right leg up. Right leg through. We're going to go straight into our warrior two here. If we need, go ahead and get a block on the inside of that right foot for this side angle. So we're in our warrior two, deepening our lunge, and we'll come directly overhead with the left arm, bringing our right hand down to meet the block or the floor right next to that right foot and right leg. If you would like to go a little bit deeper to turn this into a bind, gonna reach that right arm through underneath the leg. Reach behind with the left arm and then lift the chest. If that's too intense, just bring the hand back to the block or to the floor or the arm to the knee. Take one more breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Go ahead and bring the left arm down. Right arm comes up for a twist. You'll see my left heel is off of the mat here. We're still pressing it back. Trying to deepen our lunge just a little bit. Pressing the mat away with that left hand. Reaching to the sky and bring the right hand down. Take that right foot out and lower down. Untuck, pressing up. And pressing back. Left leg lifts. And bring that left foot through. Let's go ahead and get our block ready. Since we're down here, chest comes up, warrior two. Lifting up for a reverse and reaching forward for this side angle. Choosing which variation we'd like on this side. Of course, we want to at least try the same thing that we did on the other side to balance things out. Keep pressing into the outside of that right foot. way back there at the other end of our mat, but still working for us. We'd like to try the bind here. Lifting our chest. Exhale and twist the other way. Right heel comes off of the mat. Pressing the mat away with the right hand and extending through the left fingertips towards the sky. Remembering our intention as we extend one more breath and exhale, lowering down and pressing up. Pressing back. Looking through the hands, stepping or jumping to meet the feet. Releasing our arms, lowering the hips, lifting up through our chair. Shifting our weight forward onto the balls of those feet. Lowering our hips even more, lifting up. And then shifting the weight, shifting our torso for our diver. Getting even more in the balls of those feet. Heels come up even higher. Let's go back through that. Arms come up, hips come down. Still in this floating chair. And one more time through the diver. And let's fold. Releasing the arms and legs. Inhale, everything comes up, reaching towards the sky. Exhale, mountain pose. Excellent. We're gonna come down, all the way down to the mat for a couple of balances. And twisty poses. We'll start in our tabletop. I've got room and I don't kick anything. So we're going to lift our right leg and left arm off of the mat. You need to move the right hand center just a little bit more, or a little bit more centered, that's okay. Making sure again that we're not sinking in this shoulder, we keep pressing the mat away, lifting up. Same thing with that left foot, pressing the top of that left foot into the mat. Gaze slightly forward, relaxed face. One more inhale to lengthen. Exhale, take the arm out to the side and leg. 3 good breaths here. Keep lifting that leg, lifting the arm, pressing the mat away, and bring them back. Lower down. Other side. Lose my earbud. Lifting the right arm up and left leg. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, out to the side. Pressing the mat away. Lifting those limbs and bringing them back center. Lowering down. If you need a moment to rest your wrists, since we've done several downward dogs and now and planks. And now these tabletops, feel free to move the wrists around, move the fingers around, just to encourage the blood flow. And we'll go through that one more time. Returning to tabletop when you're ready. Right leg, left arm, lifting up. Pushing the mat away to lift your chest. Inhale and out to the side for 3 solid breaths. And coming back, lowering down. Other side. To the side. Go ahead and look at your toes. Flex your foot. See how strong your leg is as you're pushing away the mat. Finding some balance. And then coming back center. And resting. Pushing our hips back. Extending forward into a child's pose. Maybe even shifting our weight back and forth. Coming back up. Taking our left knee slightly center. Same thing with the right hand. Bringing them in towards each other just a little bit. We're going to bend our right leg. Take a look back at that right foot. Pressing into the right hand. Lifting the left hand to get that left foot, that right foot. And then press that right foot into the left hand. Lifting the knee off of the mat. Deciding which grip onto that right foot feels best for you. Perhaps even starting to rotate the shoulder. And once you've got your balance, letting the gaze move forward. Keep pushing the foot into the palm of the hand. One more breath. And fold yourself in, releasing and resting. Other side. Taking our right knee, right leg, and left hand in slightly. Turning our gaze, bending the left leg so we can get that left foot. Then lifting up and pushing into the right hand. Creating balance and taking the gaze forward. Exhale, release down. Pushing hips back, child's pose. Glancing forward, bring your right leg forward. Going into our pigeon. We'll start with our shin parallel to the top of our mat, holding our foot in place, and then lifting our hips up. This is not naturally where your hips are, and you'll feel a pretty intense stretch on the outside. Release down out of that. Let your legs go where it naturally will, and then rotate over. Make sure you won't hit anything, and lower the chest down. We are starting to end our session, but we still want to remain connected with our breath. So we inhale, extend the spine long, exhale, lower down with the intention of a nice flat spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pressing our chest up. Hands in front of us. Palms pressing the mat away. If you'd like a little bit more of a challenge in this pose, to bring your arms up, meet in prayer overhead, or you can just keep them down here on the mat, encouraging your pelvis to keep pressing down towards the ground. Bring our left hand center, right hand comes around for a twist towards that left leg, looking over our right shoulder. Inhale, tall, exhale, release, coming out, switching our legs, taking our right leg back, left leg bends, starting with the shin parallel to the top of the mat, pressing ourselves up, feeling the stretch. And then lowering down, letting that left leg go where it naturally does. Squaring our hips and lowering, chest down. Feeling with each breath that we're growing a little bit more or deepening into this pose. Walking our hands in, pushing our chest up. Right hand comes center, left goes towards the right leg for a twist. Inhale, tall spine. Exhale, come on out. Bring your legs forward. Go ahead and tuck our knees into our chest. Give ourselves a hug, just relaxing our back and lower the head down. letting our arms be the only thing that's engaged. And extend the legs out. If you don't have a dog in your way, you're gonna start to lay down. Start with feet flat on the mat and actually have the legs bent. Going to engage the core one last time. Holding on to the knees or the chin and curling the back to lower down one vertebrae at a time. Pressing palms into the mat, bringing yourself up. And we're gonna go back down, curling the back, tucking chin into chest, lowering down with so much control. Bring one knee into the chest, extend the other leg. Go ahead and flex and point the feet here. Move the toes around one last time. Maybe even move the ankles around. And release that leg out. Bring the other knee into the chest. Still moving the toes and feet, ankles. And extend that leg out. Going to do a body scan as you stay laying down. Scanning the body. Starting at the toes. Making little fists. And then releasing. Moving the feet back and forth, the ankles, and then relaxing them. Engaging the knees and calves, quads, the entire leg. Maybe shaking them out as you release those muscles. Engaging the glutes one at a time, moving the hips, tucking pelvis under, arching a little bit, and then relaxing. Engaging the abdominals. Again, moving torso just a little bit. And relaxing. Going to our fingertips, making fists, moving the wrists back and forth, engaging the arms, clenching everything in the limbs, and releasing. Shrugging our shoulders, starting to move our head back and forth, engaging our neck, and releasing. Jaw, our lips, our cheeks, our eyebrows, our forehead, moving them all around, scrunching up our face, and relaxing. Melting into the mat. Just feeling the benefit of all that we just did, soaking in through our skin, through our muscles, through our blood, tendons, through our bones. Feeling the air in the room, feeling the points of your body that are meeting the floor or the earth, allowing your breathing to deepen, belly to get bigger, and inhale and fall as you exhale. Starting to move the fingers and toes, wrists and ankles, bending the arms and legs slightly, enough to roll onto your side when you're ready. Lay there just for a couple breaths, letting your mat hold you before you're ready to sit up into a comfortable position. Closing our eyes, breathing 3 last breaths together into our nose, out through the nose. Thank you so much for joining me today and enjoying the beginning of the sunset. I hope your week is as productive and feels as great and positively challenging as this session has this evening. Thank you so much.